Today we're shedding light on the DIY shed kit myth. I'm going to tell you exactly what the industry gets wrong, why they keep you in the dark, and why you can actually hold all the cards. G'day, I'm David. If you're watching this, you've probably got 5 or 6 quotes sitting on your inbox right now, or worse, you're still waiting for 3 companies to even call you back. Most shed companies want you to believe that buying a DIY kit is as simple as ordering an online pizza, yet they make the quoting process feel like you're applying for a top secret clearance or a rental. Look, this isn't a sales pitch, it's an honest look at an industry that thrives on keeping you confused. And look, I work in it. So let's start with a quote game, or what I call manufactured reality. Have you noticed how some suppliers treat you like you're lucky to even get a price? They take 3 weeks to reply to your inquiry. They never answer the phone, or they give you a limited time offer, which has got a never to be repeated flash sale that expires in 48 hours, but in fact, it never expires. They're deliberately widening the information gap and creating what I call false rarity. By making it hard to get a quote, they manufacture a sense of rarity as if they're the only game in town and theirs is the best shed the world's ever seen. Here's the truth. There are literally hundreds of shed companies in Australia competing for your business. You aren't lucky to get a quote, they are lucky to get your inquiry. Look, Google steel sheds in Australia and watch the Facebook and Instagram ads roll in. There's hundreds of them. The industry treats buyers like they're uninformed. But I'm here to tell you to use that competition to your advantage. If a company won't be transparent about their steel grades or their engineering specs up front, walk away. There's 100 other shed companies waiting for your inquiry and wanting your business. The second myth is that you're buying a building. Look, you're not buying a building. You're buying a complex compliance, logistics, excavation and construction project, part of which comes in a flat pack. Look, suppliers hide this complexity because if they told you the truth about everything that goes into a shed project, they're afraid you might get cold feet and pull the plug on the whole project. Look, I sell sheds for a living and I've got to tell you, it really hurts me when a $100,000 shed deal walks out the door. The DIY journey doesn't start when the truck arrives, when the kit's on board. It starts months before. If you haven't looked at your zoning, your slope, soil, drainage, wind rating and received council approval and arranged a competent concreter and learned to build a shed or find a really good friend who'll build it for you, that pile of steel on your lawn isn't a shed, it's just an expensive obstacle that's going to end up being there for you to mow around for a couple of months. The cheapest quote is almost never the cheapest shed to get built. In the industry, there's no such thing as standard. There's the bare minimum and then there's well spec'd. I've seen the consequences of buying on price alone, under-spec'd steel, wrong wind ratings and frames that rattle in a light breeze. Let's face it, the only way you're going to know what your shed's going to look like in 10 years' time is to invent a time machine. The next best thing is to trust well-known brands and buy sheds that are made from them. That saving of $3,000 now could cost you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars when the first big storm hits, or the shed starts to rust in 3 years. Here's another strategy to make sure that you're going to get at least a half-decent kit. Go to productreview.com.au and check the reviews of the company you're looking at. If you see a company that's got 50 or 60% of their reviews are bad, don't walk away, run away. You don't want to be giving them your money. I'll leave you with this. Look, a shed kit isn't for everyone. If you don't know how to build a shed or don't have a good friend who can do it for you, don't buy a kit. If you're not prepared to negotiate the complexities of councils, don't buy a kit. If you're not prepared to manage the entire project from start to finish, please don't buy a kit, pay a professional builder or buy a full turnkey project. We're here to close the information gap. I'm going to keep shedding light on the traps and the secrets the industry probably won't tell you, because at the end of the day, I'd rather you buy the right kit somewhere else than the wrong shed from us. Hit like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of future videos. We're going to shed light on lots of interesting subjects in the coming weeks and months. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.